What's up? This is a rant. It's not going to be edited and it's not actually going to be filtered, meaning my mind, which actually means my mouth, which means this is going to be me. And that's okay. And here's why. I'm using this rant as basically a journal entry, first and foremost, because what I would normally talk about with a therapist, I don't have coverage right now. I'm unemployed. Yeah. So once I get coverage and once I get some money, I'm gonna get that taken care of. But for right now, because I am neurodivergent and my brain is stuck in a loop, I guess I'm just going to have to rant about this topic until I get it out of my system so that my mind will then move on so that I can edit my other videos. I'm going to tell you something that I probably shouldn't. I didn't even care about this couple or this topic when I made the video on it. It was done for the purposes of speaking on a hot topic or a popular topic in hopes of the algorithm pushing it and for me to get new followers. Spoiler alert, it worked. For every follower almost that I had at that time, I got a view on that video. I'm a small content creator. At that time, I had a little bit less than I was in the 2,400 somewhere. After I posted the Married to Medicine video and this video, basically long story short, in that 2 day span, I got over like 230, 250 new followers. Facts. Big facts. Plan worked. Boom. But here's where it backfired on me. It backfired on me because in my attempts to be kind and clever, and let me just be for real, I'm a smart aleck. I've been in gifted honors in AP for the entirety of my life. I am a self-proclaimed and then also proclaimed by others, a nerd, a blurred, a black nerd. And I am so proud of that. I am more proud of being smart than I am of being fine. And if I had to choose between the two, I would always choose to be smart. That's how much of a nerd I am. And so, in me trying to be a smart aleck, I made a video in order to be a contrarian. In my defense, I stated that at the beginning. Did I use that exact jargon and verbiage? No. Because I know that when I'm just being my natural self, I kind of sound like a computer or a thesaurus or a news reporter. And you can receive it a whole lot better when it's the child, when I'm resting in my southern, did y'all see this? You know, the little affect. Is it a part of me? Yes. Is it the biggest part of me? No. So am I faking when I do it? Kind of, but not really. If that made sense to you, congrats. You're just as crazy as me. You need to subscribe. Let's move on. But what I was stating is the whole world is bashing this couple, so I'm going to do the opposite. You already have enough negativity. My personal motto for the Pretty Brown Rise brand is balance equals righteousness. Anything that lacks balance will inevitably lead to chaos. The way people have been responding to this video, it's actually chaos because it's not that deep, because it has no bearing on your life. So, since everybody else was being mean, I wanted to be nice. Since everybody else was talking about pointing out the bad part in that short clip, I wanted to point out the good parts or the parts that would invoke sympathy for these young people or whatever. I wanted to do the exact opposite of what the world was doing. Eventually and overall, it did work out in my favor. But here's the thing. Remember when I was talking about being a nerd and I'd rather be smart than anything else? For people who are clearly dumber than me, because y'all can't even catch nuance. That wasn't even nuance. I told you what I was doing, and you still was going off in the comments. Girl, you didn't see the red flags. You need to go watch the Psychobabble video about a therapist who has said by her diagnosis of patients that she does not have. No, I don't need to go watch that video because I saw the red flags too. How do you know that I actually did see them? And I'm not just saying this. It's because had you watched the entire video, you would have heard me say that. And me talking about those red flags was actually followed by a death threat to that young man that was thinly veiled by humor. Remember that part in that movie, Taken? I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want to have a particular set of skills. If you harm my daughter, whatever, remember I said her internet aunties and her surrogate mothers. Oh, no, you don't remember that part because you didn't get that far in the video. Here's why. Wait, let me finish that part. See, neurodivergent, I'm off track. ADHD, you wouldn't understand. I will find you. I will kill you. That whole thing, yeah, I put that in there as Jonathan. We're on to you. Don't mess over our baby. She's been through enough. The whole point of the video was sympathy for Simone because she was catching strays because you all were attacking her husband. So for those of you who actually were so misinformed that you actually thought that I was misinformed. Those of you who were saying, no, you got it wrong. Nobody was attacking Simone. We were just attacking her husband. Okay, that's like somebody drinking a full glass of juice that they were supposed to only drink half of and said I had to because my half was on the bottom. This is her other half. She is his better half. This woman stated in interviews that her ring, her wedding ring, or her marriage is a bigger win or more precious or important to her, or she looks at that as more of a win than her Olympic gold medals. Ain't no way. You thought that you, and that's me overstating it. Here's the long and the short of it. You cannot insult somebody's spouse without insulting them. At the least, you are insulting their choices and their decision-making skills. If nothing else, y'all called her dumb 1,000 times when you said, why did you pick this man? You couldn't see these signs. You still smiling while he's insulting you to your face. How is that not calling somebody dumb? You most certainly were attacking her. And the other attacks was when you were insinuating that the only reason he was with her or married her was because of this, and this. And what you did not mention is how beautiful she is, how wonderful of a person she is, her resilience, her tenacity, her stick-to-itiveness. In theory, it actually would make sense that somebody who came through that much adversity and still was able to be the best to ever do it, the world's champ, the people's champ, that she knows how to fight through something even when it's tough. Isn't that what marriage is? It's a ball of misery that nobody wants to admit, but we'll talk about that at another time because I'm getting ready to piss off a whole different demographic of people. It would make sense if they weren't a celebrity couple, that would be enough to get them through. But Simone is a great choice no matter who she was with, whether she was famous or not, whether it was a rich man or a poor man, which about that, since I chose violence today, let's talk about the fact that I said he actually is a catch in the caption. I typed that in there just for the sake of making you watch it. Why? Because in all of my research, what I showed is people are more likely to gravitate towards mess or something that they would argue with or something that they don't agree with just for the sake of getting in somebody's comments and spewing hate. You are hate watching stuff. That's crazy. So I tried that tactic and it worked because that was 1% of the video. And even with me calling him a catch, look at the things that I named. What I really wanted to say is he is a catch if you have to compare him to your man. That's what I wanted to say. If you had to compare him to the average man, sweetheart, I don't know what fantasy land you all live in. And this is the part about the red pill and the manosphere that I hate to admit. It is when they get to talking about how delusional a lot of you are. The average income, median income for Americans, that means even the white ones and even the men's and the women's, is around what? $50-something thousand. That means by far and large, we all a little bit broke. Point blank and period. And whereas the black community is not a monolith, for us, more often than not, more of us than not, we are the least likely to have a whole bunch of millionaires and a whole bunch of wealthy people within our community. That ain't us. That ain't our story. Collectively, if we did look at ourselves as a monolith, we is po. Point blank and period. Now, I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in a 2-parent household. I currently live in the suburbs now. I moved from one affluent neighborhood to another one. I moved from one gated community at my parents' house, which is twice the size of mine, to another gated community, which is my own house, when I became a home owner. And I am here to tell you, the dating pool has pee in it. As a woman who has actually achieved most of the things by herself that most people have to get married to accomplish, yeah, he is a catch. If for no other reason, he ain't broken dusty like y'all boyfriends. It's women right now. They got men that work at Popeyes and Walmart. The broke ones cheat on you too. I hate to tell you. And you married him after you knew he was a cheater. And you still on the internet calling Simone Biles' husband Dusty or saying that he's not a catch. Imagine in a world where somebody makes 14 times the median income, and even that ain't enough to make a black man a catch. I want you to catch on to the dichotomy here. I want you to catch on to the other side of things. When you all are saying that she's the best of the best in the world and that's still not enough to make her desirable or to keep her from being bashed or disrespected, I want you to look at kind of how you're doing the same thing to him. He actually is fine. He actually is handsome. He actually is a high income earner. He actually is going to the therapy that we all very rudely keep telling each other that we need in the most sarcastic way and counterproductive way possible. Ow, me included. Yikes. But once again, this is a rant. I'll be nice to y'all in the next video. But check this out. I need for you all to realize that the same complaints that black men have about black women are the same complaints that black men have about black women. Wait, which one did I say first? I told you, neurodivergent. This is a rant. I ain't editing it out. Black men and women, watch how I dress it up. Black men and women have the same complaints about each other, but almost in a mirrored, inverse type of a way. Y'all are doing the same thing to each other. And if we both would stop, we could actually conquer the world. Oh, you a mammy that's a pygmy and Blackistan and the whatever. Sweetheart, you could dress it up or dress it down however you want to. Swirling leads to erasure. Did I say don't go do it, girl? Stick around and wait until you turn into a fossil on a black man and act right? No, I didn't say that. But I also did state the fact that once you cut your melanin twice, it ain't black no more. I don't care what Meghan Markle told you. Once you cut it twice, that's a white baby. Swirling is going to lead to your erasure. And even after I said that, watch this balance. It's going to blow your mind. Do it if you want to. You better do what works for you. It is what it is. Because the same type of erasure is going to come if you're waiting on marriage to have children and you don't have any at all because you never get married. You see the logic? You see how you can look at things from two different angles? It's the same way that you can look at this relationship. Just like you could look at this relationship as the fact that Simone is not as gullible as you think she is. Y'all missed it. I'm about to say another thing that's going to hurt y'all feelings. Forgive me later on, please. I love y'all. I'm so happy I have some new subscribers. Please don't unsubscribe. But this is what I'm telling you. I'm not going to assume your home life that like the manosphere did. But I am going to say this. From somebody who got the benefit from watching a 35-year relationship that literally was till death do us part. And y'all know I'm struggling with that. So let me please just get through this video without crying like I have been for the past 6 months. Jesus Christ, this is exhausting. Oh, remember when I was telling you all about that therapy? If for the 3 people that actually do watch this, can y'all cash out Pretty Brown Rise or can y'all hit that super thanks? Because Lord have mercy. I need to buy at least 1 session so that I can get out of this depression. My God, today, how long does bereavement last? Wouldn't it be nice if you could put a time frame on it? Moving forward. Using humor to mask emotions. Isn't that the most toxic way to get through something? Listen, what y'all didn't catch about Simone that I was able to learn from watching my mama work, baby. Y'all don't learn the parts of the manosphere in trying to dominate you. They actually low-key teaching you the game in certain parts of stuff, except for they actually believe the stupidity that they're saying. Here's the real game, because it sounds like Simone already got it figured out. How to say things to your husband to get him to listen to you and be on your side and do what you want him to do. Did y'all hear the nonsense that she said? Because once again, the stuff that y'all were talking about him, that's all of y'all men. That's all of y'all husbands, because that's just about every man. That ego and that pride and that arrogance, even when there's no reason for it. You arrogant about somebody who's infinitely better than you. That's a lot of men. Do you know how many bald-headed seahorses is out here really still looking at you and saying, but I don't want no fat woman? Men can't get pregnant, but they look pregnant, but they telling you you need to lose weight, otherwise you're not the prize. Men who are over 54 years old and never been married is out here trying to, with all of the delusion in the world, date 26-year-old women. And they're saying that you're delusional for wanting a man that's actually not broke. My God, today, this is the manosphere. This is where they get it wrong. It's so much nonsense around it that y'all can't even get the nuggets and jewels and the gems. This is where both sides are going wrong. Will you please subscribe so that I can teach y'all the game from both sides to make it work out for both of you? Because both of y'all wrong and both of y'all right. That's just the long and the short of it. Ain't nobody else telling y'all that, because they understand how effective an echo chamber is. But also, it's going to leave y'all broken. Listen to what I'm telling you. And it's also going to lead to our erasure and our extinction. We used to be 26% of this country, I think, when I was a little girl. I think now we're down to like 16 or 12%. Erasure. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward. What y'all didn't get was the fact that he said that his coaches had already told him the thing that Simone said about the whole, you starting off too slow, you're getting stuck in your head, blah, blah, blah. He tried to fight against it, but he couldn't, because this is my bride talking to me. Man, girl, you crazy. But also, what you talking about? What you mean when you say that? He literally told you everything you needed to hear. If anybody else, and then he corrected it, definitely any other woman had told me that, I would have been, girl, you crazy, what you talking about? But when it's coming from her, baby, that should have gave you that glimpse of hope. Not hope that he's actually a good man and that he's not using her and the red flags were a figment of our imagination, but hope that he could actually be tamed. I'm not supposed to say that word because we're not supposed to let them know. What's that video? If the men find out that we're shape-shifting, they're going to tell the church. You know, whatever that video was with the makeup. No, but seriously. We giving away secrets here now. It's all in the way that you say it. When did she get to him and say this? You could make up the circumstances around it, but he's mentioned it multiple times that some of their best conversations is when they in the bed and they by themselves. Use your brain. Y'all talk about that WAP and you pretending to have that WAP. Both of the girls in the WAP video and the WAP song have recently been dumped. That ain't it. That ain't all it is to it. After you drop it on him, now his defenses are down. As the blood is returning to his head, ladies. Babe, you know you actually slow. You sorry. I'm going to need to tell you what you need to hear with your sack empty. Oh my gosh, this is so crass. I can't believe I'm saying this. Y'all better listen to what I'm telling you. Two things can be true. This is the time that I can insult you and really tell you what you need to hear because your defenses are down. What? You serious? Now, I'm putting this extra affect on it, and that maybe not be what they said happened in that situation, but I literally just told y'all. Sometimes the best time to talk and get what you want is when they're in a state of euphoria. However they reach that state of euphoria. It could be because they went to the rescue shelter and they were petting kittens. Whatever it takes, that's when learning your man comes into it. Did you hear that, Malarkey? One day, nobody's going to call him Simone Biles' husband. They're going to be calling me. Oh, God, it's so sad. I talked about y'all for not knowing his name. I don't know his name. I knew his name. It's in the thing. Is it on this video clip? God dang it. Anyway, whatever. They're going to be calling me his wife. Actually, no, that's never going to happen. But did you see that goofy grin on his face? My God, today. Boy, she did that. She knows something. That's when I realized, I was like, oh, that's how she know that old school game. She was raised by her grandparents. Don't count her out, ladies. Do not count her out. Simone is not as baby. Let me tell you something that I know by being a Southern woman. We learned how to play country dumb early. We learned country dumb early. It still works to this day. Now, there's two things that I can tell you that I know to be good and true. You better use it when it's convenient for you. You better learn the difference between being a head of household and being the neck. Head what? I will turn your head any way that I want to. Now let me turn it over this way. Listen to me. You need to get faster or you're going to get cut again. She's protecting her money. Y'all didn't even receive it. My God, today. She protecting the bag and y'all didn't even receive it. My coaches had actually told me that before, but when she said it, and then I went back to the coaches, and then they taught me everything, and then I had the best game of my career, and then now I stopped getting cut, or whatever the case may be, whatever he said. Point blank period is she already got his ear, and she already got his mind. That's it, that's all. The foundation is there. And then plus, whatever machismo and whatever hangups that he has, this fake bravado, because as you all heard, he ain't really all that confident. That's what I was trying to point out to y'all without making it so obvious. Remember how he was awkward looking and his arms was too long and he was getting cut and he wasn't a first round draft pick? I made a point to put that clip in there because I wanted you all to know where his hunger and drive came from. He's actually the underdog. He already knows that he has to work hard to be worthy. He said these words. What makes you think that he's not going to do what he needs to do to be worthy to be with an Olympian? Y'all counting it out too quick. I heard the red flags. Yeah, I heard them and I saw them. But what was crazy to me is how y'all don't see this in your own relationships. How y'all don't know that y'all husband is in my inbox. How is it that when I'm sitting around married women, you all's husbands disrespect you to your face, if for no other reason than the fact that, especially for you black women, I hate to tell you, but a lot of y'all husbands use y'all as an unpaid maid, a doormat, a wet hole, and an ATM. A lot of y'all is the breadwinners of y'all family. What are y'all talking about? I don't understand why you all are bashing an Olympian when your life is the same, but on a much smaller scale. Much smaller. Because the bank account is much smaller. Yeah. I wish I could say that your man's ego is much smaller, but that ain't going to be the case. Not all the time. They still act the same. Imagine your man is just that arrogant. Your man worked at Walmart. He restocking the shelves and he's still cheating on you. One of his coworkers. A woman making more money and him needing you financially ain't never been enough to keep a man. If it did, why didn't at least half of black marriages last a little bit longer? Ain't half of y'all the breadwinners in y'all household? Y'all worried about the wrong thing, baby. Y'all counting Simone out way too early. But most importantly, stop bashing black women when they haven't done anything to you and they haven't done anything to deserve it. And I was talking about Simone in that one, but baby, let me talk about me. It's going to come a time where you all are going to catch me on these days and I'm going to get in them comments and I'm going to talk to you how you talk to me. Except for with me, sweetheart, to quote Jay-Z, throw in the towel, I'm better with vowels. I promise you. Y'all think that the Kenya Moores and the Candace you think that they are shade assassins and wordsmiths and all of that. Baby, I can assassinate you with these words. I've been doing it my entire life. Had to go to therapy to try to see if I could stop doing that. I've yet to stop doing that. I didn't have enough therapy. Hit the super thanks. Help me out on that. Bye.